So this episode is back to the weekly horoscope outlooks, and this is the week ahead forecast for Monday, 6th of July. Welcome to the Horoscope Vault, a podcast that explores the world through the lens of astrology, with a view to supporting you through life's ups and downs and helping you make more confident decisions through each chapter. I'm Charlie, an associate member of the American Federation of Astrologers and astrology reader for radio's The Bob and Sherry Show. This is your week ahead forecast. So I'm going back to the Monday week ahead horoscope outlooks. The episode will look at the week generalized, so the aspects that are most prominent, and then into some forecast readings sign by sign. So this week has three main aspects that are really worth looking at, and that is July 6th, on Monday, the Sun in Cancer square to Saturn in Aries. Then Tuesday, the 7th of July, Neptune retrograde begins. And then Thursday, 9th of July, Venus moves into Virgo. Starting on Monday, the Sun in Cancer, with its natural focus on property and home and family, feelings, food and security in terms of comfort and nourishment. It's all about what is needed to feel safe. And then Saturn in Aries, with its element of restrictions and, let's say, discipline. And actually a good word is lessons. Saturn is all about lessons. And in the sign of Aries, it suggests that there are personal obstacles and maybe some handicaps and maybe some stumbling blocks that are meant to be overcome. The Sun at 14 degrees of Cancer, with the degree meaning of 14 degrees of Cancer as troubleshooting, suggests that troubleshooting something at home, or maybe troubleshooting some kind of property or family matter, or troubleshooting feelings. And then Saturn at 14 degrees of Aries, with its degree meaning of chaos. So something that has been ineffective, something that is in an element of disorder or discomfort, something that is thwarted in the process. It's like something is up and it doesn't feel good. So that Sun in Cancer troubleshooting square to Saturn in Aries chaos is a pressure point that is boiling. And it's something that has taken a lot of time already. And maybe there's been some effort into it already. And it's going to continue to take time, and it's going to continue to take effort. And it's something you're kind of knee deep in. And as much as I don't want to use the word stuck, actually I won't use the word stuck, I'll use the word invested. You're already heavily invested or committed to this thing, so bailing is not an option, at least not right now. So the situation requires focus in an area to clear the chaos elsewhere, and the details of that are going to be in the sign by sign section at the end of the episode. The next astrological day this week is Tuesday, the annual Neptune retrograde. Neptune goes retrograde every summer, so this is totally normal. It did make quite a big move into Aries earlier this year. So Neptune in Aries is fairly new territory. I did a 3-part episode on this, and I'll link that in the show notes below for you to circle back to. And it does include the Neptune in Aries horoscopes. But Neptune moving into Aries earlier this year was kind of the end of passive living. And now that it's going retrograde, it's a return to temporarily living passively. The degree Neptune stations retrograde at is 4 degrees of Aries. The degree meaning of open-mindedness. So it's about being open to a variety of perspectives, collecting a bunch of information over the next 5 months until Neptune goes direct in December, when it will go direct at the 1st degree of Aries. That degree meaning is survival. So this is about collecting a bunch of information over the next 5 months, being able to see goodness and hope or meaning, even in some terrible, messy, or difficult situations. That information and that data will then help you continue to full steam ahead with your life in a perfectly survival-based way. The lesson is in learning to recognize goodness and to recognize purpose, even in conflict. Because Neptune in Aries doesn't wait for perfect conditions, it just acts. However, right now, there are more details needed. So 5 months of being open to new opinions and options and possibilities that you haven't yet considered starts now. And then your survival improves at the end of this. So remember that it's all for the greater good when it feels like things are slipping backwards. The last day this week is Venus into Virgo. Venus is not in a good place in Virgo because Venus and its symbolism of worth and resources. And then the very Virgo earthy energy, Virgo is very literal. It's like love of materialism, which is considered detriment in some ways. We're not supposed to love materialism. And this happens because the Virgo analytical ways clash with Venus and its pursuit for pleasure. It's the combination of materialism with standards. So love is usually supposed to be all-encompassing, but with Virgo, it's very structural and specific. So Venus in Virgo for each sign is a little bit of seriousness with money, seriousness with love, and also with food. For some of the signs, it's going to be seriousness with all three of those matters rolled into one somehow. And the type of perfectionism that this transit brings is discussed in the sign-by-sign portion. And that's it for the generalized outlook. I'll be back with another episode on Wednesday. Make sure to listen to the reading for both your sun and rising sign. Each sign is time-stamped below for your convenience. For Aries Sun and Rising, you might not be where you want to be, but now is not the time to jump and try and change where you're at in life, whether it's geographically or the point of your development. The key is to focus on fixing just one thing right now, and that's maybe fixing up your home, like cleaning up or redesigning your space, or fixing something within the function of your body, so your health, your eating, or your exercise regime. While it doesn't seem like much, either or of those things being focused on can really clear the air and clear or offset any obstacles or chaos that are showing up in your romantic life or your work life. Neptune going retrograde in your sign means needing more information to really lock in where you want to be and what you want to do with your whole life. It's everything. It's what's next. It's determining the next chapter. And for 5 months, life as it is now is how it will be. And that's so that you can become more open to possibilities that you haven't already considered. Venus in Virgo is a little bit of perfectionism regarding daily habits and work and food. If this comes through in relationships, this might mean working hard in a relationship, or if it's about work, it might mean meeting somebody romantic through your work. Make sure to listen to the reading for both your sun and rising sign to get the most of this forecast. Taurus Sun and Rising, troubleshooting your feelings and emotions and taking a look at how you organize your self-care is top of the list. Set a steady bedtime and stick to it. Make sure you take time off from constantly working, and then you'll find that your feelings balance out. Or maybe find a way to explore and work through your feelings and then watch your sleep improve. And that way you'll find obstacles in your home and living situation disappear if you tend to both your feelings and your sleep. And if there are any problems that maybe have you feeling trapped, where you usually feel free, those will start to make sense too. Neptune retrograde in Aries for you is about needing more sleep. It's about really needing to lock in with your self-care. And the next 5 months will bring you experiences where you see both, let's say, the undesirable impact of not getting enough rest. And it can also mean getting a lot of kind of prophetic, intuitive messages through your sleep. So if you're not getting the sleep, you're not connecting with your intuition enough to receive those messages that help you understand what's next. Venus in Virgo for the sign of Taurus, Sun and Rising is the fun being taken out of romance. So relationships become very transactional. Romance and pleasure seems like a job. So try and remember to balance it out by doing things on your own that you genuinely love. Make sure to listen to the reading for both your sun and rising sign to get the most of this forecast. Gemini Sun and Rising, troubleshooting your income matters. And it's not just money, but it's how you feel about money. And then looking at your friendships, your community environment, and how that impacts your finances. This might mean less social time or setting a more strict savings goal. And that works very effectively to boost your investments. It can help you put more into a project that you're really passionate about. Neptune's retrograde in Aries for Gemini is receiving some information from friends that you benefit from. It's not so much gossip, it's more like matters of your peer group that help you figure out your next move professionally. Venus in Virgo is about your family and home life. This is obsessive cleaning and organization of the home, and it's correct to get obsessive about it because it will work in your favor. A clean home environment is a shield, and having less chaotic physical space means everything else in your outside life feels more clear. Make sure to listen to the reading for both your sun and rising sign to get the most of this forecast. Cancer, Sun and Rising. The personal life troubleshooting is all about where you're going and what you're doing and what are your plans and what are your goals. It might feel like something is getting in the way of your professional development. So making a plan or strategy for where you want to be professionally and then sticking to it will help you feel more fulfilled instead of frustrated. It's about blinkering yourself to focus on career and your general future. And doing so can solve chaos in your relationships and your income. Neptune's retrograde in Aries for the sign of Cancer is about not making any quick decisions or moves with your career. It's about spending 5 months building some kind of professional legacy, which, if you do it right, can be so amazingly huge by the end. And if it's in music or if it's to do with fluids, beverages, movies, presentation, or if it's just very public, then even better. But essentially, building your dream career takes 5 months of seeing what happens, exploring more options, and keeping yourself focused on a goal that may seem out of reach, but you know deep down it's not. Venus in Virgo is all tech, books, and gadgets for you. So this might be buying a new tech product, but maybe not until the Mercury retrograde is over. Maybe it's buying a book. Maybe it's finishing a book or two that you've been meaning to finish. And finishing the book is either a book that you wrote or a book that you need to read. Make sure to listen to the reading for both your sun and rising sign to get the most of this forecast. Leo, sun and rising, burning the candle at both ends and not sleeping can be making you feel a little bit off kilter. And it might feel like it's worth it because you're exploring and maybe doing some traveling. Maybe you've committed to a really big goal educationally, so you're burning the candle for what feels like a really good, noble, big, grand outcome. But maybe making sure that you don't skip sleep or making sure you don't overcommit to events that require travel is necessary. Holding back on those things, if they exhaust you, holding back is going to make sure that there's a positive knock-on effect to any chaos that's showing up in your physical body and health. Neptune retrograde in Aries for the sign of Leo is a pause in education. So this is simply summer break. Or maybe it's less travel on purpose. Slowing down the things that have been full speed ahead long enough to realize new travel plans that might be brewing or new things you need to learn means that taking it slow is helpful. Venus in Virgo is about financial security, so scrutinizing your budget is a must. This might also be buying yourself something, maybe treating yourself, so figure out what you can sensibly spend on you and then treat yourself to something. Make sure to listen to the reading for both your sun and rising sign to get the most of this forecast. Virgo sun and rising, troubleshooting things that are owed. This is debt and favors and money owed to you or by you. Maybe some kind of owing situation with a friend or a company could be priority this week. Figuring out a better rate, how to pay something off, how to pay something down, renegotiating terms, or even asking for something back that is owed to you can clear up any chaos in your stress levels, your worry, anxiety, and sleep disruptions, where maybe worry has been keeping you awake. And it helps you have more available resources if you clear something up. Neptune retrograde in Aries for Virgo is pausing payments on something or shopping around for better rates, which might be on a mortgage. And that could be a good idea because of the future potential housing market shifts, which were discussed in the July 4th USA Solar Return episode. I'll link that below. But negotiating rates on something is the result by December. And so the next few months is about figuring out the absolute best option that fits your situation. Venus in Virgo is in your sign, so self-care to the max. This is wardrobes and looks and maintaining your body. This is a lot of material focus on your physical image. All of that is correct. So don't think that it's bad. Literally, this is an invitation to lose yourself in vanity because it is correct. Make sure to listen to the reading for both your sun and rising sign to get the most of this forecast. Libra Sun and Rising, emotionally draining work plus relationships and collaboration issues leave life feeling heavy, meaning that fixing or remedying one or the other can clear up some chaos that's preventing you from moving or just feeling like you live somewhere you want to be. Neptune's retrograde in Aries for the sign of Libra is about a change in a relationship. So it might be needing a break from a relationship that is not as it seems, or it might be holding back on making sharp decisions with the relationship because your decision is made much easier if you wait till December. Venus in Virgo is about spending some money on a health retreat or some kind of escape. You need to escape for the benefit of your own mental health, for your physical health. And Venus in Virgo, it's in your subconscious area. So this is treating yourself to some spa and relaxation activities. Make sure to listen to the reading for both your sun and rising sign to get the most of this forecast. Scorpio Sun and Rising. This is troubleshooting your work commitments this week, like your schedule being more organized, and being honest with yourself about whether you're working too much or not enough. This can remedy chaos that is waiting in the wings in the future of your job. The chaos being more busyness and having a higher workload in a good way because of work success. Neptune retrograde in Aries for Scorpio is all about health and wellness habits, so getting a bunch of tests in the next 5 months is the goal. This is getting blood work tests, your hormones in balance, so check estrogen, testosterone, thyroid, all of those things can benefit from being tested this next 5 months, especially hormone testing. That could provide you with information that helps revitalize your health around December. Venus in Virgo is buying into a membership that you wanted to buy or creating a membership. So this is subscription memberships that people can buy from you or ones that you want to invest in yourself, music, audio, or some kind of advice-based subscription shows up. Spend the money or charge the money. Transactional alliances in the form of subscriptions or friendships is correct. Make sure to listen to the reading for both your sun and rising sign to get the most of this forecast. Sagittarius Sun and Rising. Troubleshooting any personal feelings about who should do what and what responsibility belongs to which person, and actually troubleshooting your relationship with certain responsibilities altogether, where responsibilities need to be sifted through to make sure you're committed only to the things that benefit you and the ones you love. Cutting out all the unnecessary and then doubling down on what is important can remedy any chaos if you feel trapped, if you feel bored and limited, especially with income, or if you feel a lack of self-worth. Neptune's retrograde in Aries for Sagittarius is about cutting back on excessive recreational indulgences. There's a little bit of personal work needed, and less indulgence and more responsibilities, especially showing up at home, means that by December you can go back to a more fun life. But for now, it's about knuckling down for the purpose of survival and your personal domestic experience. Venus in Virgo is the effect of emotion on income, and this is the income that you and or your partner makes in a professional way. So there might be some value-based matters to be discussed, either directly to do with your job or your relationship and its impact on your job. It could also be more money coming through a relationship. It could be changing jobs, leading to a better income down the line. Make sure to listen to the reading for both your sun and rising sign to get the most of the forecast. Capricorn Sun and Rising. Emotional trouble in a relationship and a heavy workload is very incompatible right now, and it seems impossible to tend to both, which it is. So by leaning into the work side of things, you could remedy any personal feelings of heaviness, and it gives you access to more things that could help you achieve a very impressive career status. Neptune retrograde for Aries and Capricorn might be some backwards sliding at home, but it's in a way you can clearly see. It's not an illusion or delusion at home. You are reading things exactly as they are, whether this is about the property market, a property, things at home in terms of the physical property you live in, or somehow otherwise involved in family matters. The next 5 months in this area reveals a lot. Venus in Virgo is a few costs. This is money spent on travel, maybe booking a trip upcoming. And the process involves the need to do a very specific checklist in order for this trip to work. Make sure to listen to the reading for both your sun and rising sign to get the most of this forecast. Aquarius Sun and Rising, troubleshooting the wording of what you say, troubleshooting where you focus your attention, like what are you spending your brain power on, and troubleshooting your daily schedule and habits by eliminating anything that's wasting your own time will remedy any chaos that might be showing up in self-sabotaging habits and fear and problems in relationships. Neptune retrograde in Aries for the sign of Aquarius is about learning something new, which then transpires into a skill. So the next 5 months is literally learning something new that boosts your income by December. Venus in Virgo is about your investments. It's your joint bank accounts, your marriage resources and such, anything in connection with another. It's some financial merging. So maybe a little bit of a head-to-head about how things are allocated and distributed in a relationship. There might be someone using some financial control. Make sure to listen to the reading for both your sun and rising sign to get the most of this forecast. Pisces, Sun and Rising, troubleshooting your use of resources, food, money, and time, and where you might be wasteful. This will remedy any chaos in your feelings of having a secure future, and also it will support your mental health. Neptune retrograde in Aries for your sign is spending less impulsively, spending less in general, and the next 5 months of a varying economy, maybe even some work changes and such, balances out by December, where you can make a big purchase that you want to make or just feel more freedom with cash flow. Venus in Virgo is about your relationships, and having a very particular set of requirements in your relationships is good. Don't compromise your list of conditions for love. Having conditions is how things work best and how you maintain your personal self-worth and value too. Make sure to listen to the reading for both your sun and rising sign to get the most of this forecast.